I want to talk about what might be one of the coolest and most ambitious studies ever conducted that I was able to play a very small role in. So this study was essentially a competition where researchers from around the world were invited to submit interventions that they thought might reduce animosity toward the opposing party, support for political violence, and support for undemocratic practices. 252 research teams submitted interventions, and of these, 25 were tested head-to-head in a sample of over 30,000 Americans to see which worked best. And research teams that designed interventions that worked were able to share a cash prize totaling to $45,000, so people were really motivated to design effective interventions. So I helped co-design one of the 25 tested interventions, along with some of my colleagues at NYU. So, what did the study say were the most effective interventions at reducing partisan animosity and these other related variables? Some good news is that most of these interventions were effective at reducing partisan animosity with statistically significant effects. So that shows that social scientists can do some things right. But which interventions worked best? Well, my team's intervention was actually the third most effective intervention at reducing partisan animosity. So this intervention focused on instilling a sense of common identity among Americans, showing that the average Republican and average Democrat really aren't so different and have a lot in common. The second most effective intervention focused on how the media often amplifies the most extreme points of view, which gives us distorted perceptions of the opposing party. And the first most effective intervention was a really cool video that was super well produced, showing positive interactions between Republicans and Democrats. So these interventions also had effects on a lot of other variables, but they generally weren't as big. Our intervention, for instance, was slightly effective at reducing support for undemocratic practices. Also, our intervention and several other interventions were effective when people were measured 2 weeks later, showing that several of the interventions have long-lasting impacts. If you want to see what these interventions actually entailed, you can go here and try them out for yourself. But I think this paper is a really cool model of how social science should be going forward, where you test several different ways of solving an important problem head-to-head and see what works best. I'm a psychology researcher. Follow for more about psychology.